11 people checked into room 12 of Hotel Royale, Las Vegas. 11 people died there. Every death certificate said the same two words: natural causes. No investigation. No arrests. No answers. For 7 years, the most dangerous room in America sat in the middle of the most glamorous city in the world. And nobody asked a single question. This is the story of the man who did. Las Vegas, October 1958. The casinos took your money, the desert took your secrets, and Hotel Royale took something else entirely. My name is Frank Malone. I was just a man who asked questions for money. One morning, a woman walked into my office. Diana Cross, sharp eyes, sharper mind. She said 11 people died in room 12 since 1951. The youngest was 19 years old, healthy, athletic. Checked in Friday, dead by Monday. Natural causes. I opened her folder and I stopped talking. 3 days inside her files. James Caruso, 1951, about to testify against a mob boss. Checked into room 12. Cardiac arrest by morning. Helen Marsh, 1953, had dangerous documents about a senator, called a newspaper to meet. Night before that meeting, she checked into room 12, heart failure. Colonel Hatch, 1955, writing a memoir about missing military money. One night, room 12, stroke. 7 of 11 victims, all knew something dangerous, all about to tell someone, and all ended up in room 12. The receptionist smiled. The way people smile when they are not really smiling. He slid the key across the desk. Number 12. The corridor was completely silent, like something holding its breath. Room 12 looked normal. A bed, a mirror, a vintage radio, window facing a graveyard. 3 things were wrong. Mirror tilted so from the bed, you could see the door. But from the door, you could not see the bed. Radio from 1942. Everything else was brand new. And that window, old headstones, dry dirt. A click woke me up. The radio dial was glowing, orange, warm, alive. It had turned on by itself. Static filled the room, then a voice, a woman, barely a whisper. She said, "Frank, room 12 knows why you are here." They all came with questions. They all left without answers. But you are different. I reached for the radio. The voice said, "Don't." Then I heard breathing, not from the radio, from behind me. I turned around. Empty room. But the mirror had moved, now facing the bed. In the reflection, morning came slowly. I sat on the edge of that bed and did not move. Outside the window, the graveyard was quiet. Just stone and dirt and dry Nevada air. I thought about 11 people. 11 people who had sat in this same room, looked at this same mirror, heard this same silence, and never left. I was still alive, but I understood something now. This was not just a hotel room. This was a trap, perfectly designed, carefully maintained, and someone very powerful was running it. I went downstairs that morning, asked the receptionist about the history of room 12. He smiled, that same empty smile. He said, "Just a room, sir. Our most requested room, actually." I asked how many guests had died there. The smile stayed perfectly still. He said, "I am not aware of any such incidents." I asked about the radio, the 1942 model. Why was it never replaced? For the first time, the smile flickered. Just for a second. He said, "Some things in this hotel have always been here." That evening I found her. Rosa, an old maid, 70 years old, 30 years in this hotel. She saw me looking at room 12 from the corridor. She came close and whispered. She said, "You should leave." I said, "I cannot leave yet." She said, "That is what they all say at first." I asked her what she knew. She looked left, then right. Then she said, "The first man who died in room 12, His name was Caruso. I said, I know about Caruso. She shook her head slowly. She said, No. You know what they told you.